You have spoken glowingly of Governor Ifeanyi Okowa and other principal actors of your party in the just concluded general elections. Good enough, your party have secured the leadership of Delta State. But let's move from where we are now to where you are headed. People have different impression of the governor-elect of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori. As somebody you are conversant with, as somebody I believe you know at a close range, how would you describe him suitable for the mandate he is so given?
Uncle Sheriff. Yes, I know him very well. He's a very close friend of mine, and he's a man I respect so much. For one simple reason, his attentiveness to issues. And of course, that will really help him. This is a man, you see, he listens. I know, so one principal attitude that makes a leader to deliver is when you listen, because you cannot know it all. You listen to hear and to feel the pulse down there that will enable you to perform or to discharge your duties. Yes, so the sheriff I know has that trait, a listening man, and a dogged man too. You can imagine the number of cases that were filed against him, and the man was still much on ground, facing the real Delta inside of him. That and you know one beauty thing about Sheriff, throughout this legal issue, Sheriff never one day responded or talked to any of these, attackers. That is what he was, just focused on where he was going to. That's a sound character in him. Okay, and of course, he's been leading the House of Assembly for the last 7 years now, thereabout, and there's another special thing about him. We have never had a speaker that spent 3 years on that seat. He's only talk about impeachment upon impeachment, but for the past 7 years or thereabout, he's been sitting down on that side as speaker. That shows his degree of a team spirit. Is able to coordinate the house, to harness the goodness of each of the members to achieve target. That is a very sound. And of course, I was discussing with some staff, a friend of mine, that's our assembly there, McCartney Obruto. He said one thing that Sheriff is good at in their place there, that is where they work there, training. There has been continuous training, retraining for junior officers, senior officers, house members, to ensure that they get latest skills in discharging duties. What else you need from a governor? I'm sure with that trait, for instance, now the civil servant will now begin to enjoy that training too shortly, and including we politicians who need to be trained too, because we need skills to do good things. I think because I can tell you that Sheriff is a nice man. Sheriff is a very nice man. I've worked with him, I've sat with him, I've discussed with him. He's a man who asks you, what is your view? If you look at my age, the gap between myself and Sheriff, but again, Sheriff, Tola, were you angry the way I talked yesterday? I'll say, no, sir. I say, okay, that was a night. That was a night. I met him a day before. We could not reach agreement in a particular matter. So I left. In actual sense, I was not that I was happy when I was leaving. No, at about 5:30 or 6 a.m. my phone rang. I look at it, Sheriff. I pick it. I say, "Yes, good morning, sir." He said, "How are you?" I said, "Fine, sir." So, were you offended yesterday? I said, "Boss, how will I keep for what now?" He said, because I just noticed I didn't speak well with you. I said, "Boss, no, sir. Of course, this is a man. This is a governor. This is a leader you want to work with."
Well, I'm not going to let you shy away from an emanating story in some quarters. One of the foremost leaders of your party and the former governor of Delta State, Chief James Ibori, is visibly seen hobnobbing with the APC and sharing some affinity. Understanding the antecedent and plausible trajectory of politics in Delta State, and considering his influence and ability to create pathways, should Delta PDP not be worried?
Yes, Chief Ibori is a leader. Chief Ibori is our eldest brother, Chief Ibori, is a respected party man. And of course, when you say romancing with APC, I can tell you that Ibori served his 8 years alongside Tinubu, and of course, they must be friends as a governor. And at that point in time, Ibori was more or less their leader. To that extent, if you say it's romancing, until he comes out to tell us that I've moved out of PDP, I will not say so, I will not agree with you. But having said that, nothing will happen to PDP in Delta State, especially if Sheriff remains Sheriff that he is. That is to say, doing the right thing. When you governor, you decide duty the way it should be discharged. There's somebody that can shake you. And so, I'm not, even if Ibori is leaving the party, he's not the first person that have left our party, for Christ's sake. And I'm not going to say that as a major factor that can cause the death of PDP in Delta State. The only thing that can affect PDP is only if our party, if our governor is not doing the right thing. If he actually come out to execute the more agenda he has for Delta State, obviously, Ibori leaving will not cause us distractions.
It has been an immense pleasure having this conversation with you. Immeasurable thanks to you, Admin Tola, for your candor and for giving us your time.
Thank you very much, sir.